Welcome to For Your Information. I'm Deb Harden with Clifford's Army, and I have Tammy Freeman with Clifford's Army with me. And today we also have Carmen Peterson from Puppy Love, who also helps us on different things. And we have two visitors here. We have Bitsy, who is one of our care dogs that's looking for a home. And we have Bear, who I think's kind of taking a nap right now, but I'm sure before we're through, we'll get some better pictures of him. But before we get into talking about these particular two dogs and some of our other dogs that we have and different things that we were going to discuss today, I want to go ahead and go over some of our events that are coming up, because as y'all know, we get to talking and then sometimes we don't get them at the end of the show. So we're going to go ahead and tell you about what's coming up, that the funds raised for these events will all go to help these two dogs and others that we have. So Friday, April 26th is our 5th annual charity golf tournament. It will be at Deerbrook. Shotgun start at 12. We'll start signing people up at 10. There'll be a silent auction. There'll be door prizes. It's a 4-man captain's choice, I think is how you call it. I'm not a golfer, so I have to look at somebody that lives with a golfer. It's $75 a person. This is, like I said, our 5th year, and it seems to be growing every year. We had a huge crowd last year. Everybody had a great time. So you can sign up day of. You can go online and sign up. You can call Deerbrook, just whichever way works best for you. Also coming up on May the 4th, we will have our Barks, Bikes, and Brews Poker Run, which is a bicycle poker run, as opposed to a lot of you may have seen this done with motorcycles, but this is on bicycles. They'll start at the VFW. They'll go up to stops uptown, get a card at each stop, and come back, and the best hand will get a prize, and the worst hand gets a prize. And there'll be music when they get back. There'll be some other different things going on. We have some surprises because it's actually on May 4th, and I'm not going to say anything else about that. Some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But so there will be some surprises. You do not have to ride a bicycle. You could walk it if you wanted to. It's about 3 miles. The total thing is, you could walk it, you could ride in a car. We don't care, but it's focused on the bikes. And then on May 11th, we will have it'll be our 2nd annual Mother's Day brunch. It will be at the Episcopal Church of the Redeemer on Sumter Street. We have the Watson sisters, who used to own Sisters Cafe, fixing the breakfast. It's amazing. It's all you can eat. She has several breakfast casseroles, and there's pastries, there's bagels, there's fruit, I don't know. I had never seen so much food in my life last time. And we'll have some mimosas there too. You can order tickets now online. They're $15 in advance. There will be $20 at the door. So if you're coming and want to save a little bit, go ahead and order those now. And we will have some neat things going on about Mother's Day too. Then we will have we will be at Rollover for the Uptown Shelby Block Party on May 18th. And then on May 19th, we'll be at the City Park for Pups in the Park. This is going to be celebrating Kids in the Park Day, which is the Saturday before, and National Rescue Dog Day, which is the Monday after. We'll have a lot of our dogs there. We'll be doing our little dog adoption with the little stuffed dogs for the children, and that's a free thing where they get a little certificate and pick out a little puppy, a stuffed puppy. And then the train will be going on, the merry-go-round will be going on. I think there's going to be a face painter there, but there's going to be a lot of good things going on there, and it's from 1:30 to 4:30. And every Friday is Foster Friday at Rollover Pets from 2 to 5, and we take different ones of our dogs up there that are available for adoption that you can come and meet. Even if you're not looking for a dog, you can come and play with the dogs. You know, and because a lot of people like to just come and pet the dogs and hang out with them. So you're more than welcome to do any of that. So now let's get on to our subjects here. We are really looking for fosters on a regular basis. We actually have a little over 40 fosters signed up, but the need is so great around here, which you guys know.
With vacations.
Yeah, and I mean, for example, Carmen runs a rescue boarding facility, and so she boards for just rescues only.
Yes.
But when they're calling now, what's the famous words you have to say?
I'm full.
You're full. And that's what we have to say when people ask us to take dogs, unless we have a foster that's willing to step up.
Right.
And it really, it's real hard to say no when you see these dogs. Tammy,
So many, yeah, it just kills us.
Yeah.
So many in need.
yeah,
So many.
You know,
and
in
we're,
such pitiful
Yep.
condition, and we're just dying to help.
Help.
But we need fosters.
we have to have fosters. That's exactly right. And we are dying to help. We would love to help.
We would love to.
Yeah, but we do need more fosters, and it's sad that there's so many in need. But I posted 2 of ours today. One was found last night, and the other one we took one day last week. I just hadn't got around to getting the post up, but they were both very in need of medical help. But fortunately, we did have people step up for those. But again, without fosters, and with our current fosters
Being
already at
full,
capacity,
yeah.
we're kind of, in dire straits. So that's kind of, we want to talk about that.
And we provide everything. We provide
Yep.
food, heartworm
Yep.
medications, preventatives.
Yeah, the whole.
Any type of medical, we provide everything that you need.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you need a crate, if you need, whatever you need, we provide.
Yeah, all you have to provide to foster is a home and some love.
Yep.
And if they're on medication, give that medication. But that's about the extent of it. So I'm going to start because Bear's a little unique. And it's not, like when I say Bear, it's not B-E-A-R. I'm going to tell the truth on how he got his name.
B-E-H-R.
Yeah, yes, it's like the paint, B-E-H-R. So Carmen was roaming around in her yard one day.
I was playing with my chickens, and and Bear come up, and his face and all down his back was covered in paint.
And I believe it was white, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was a whitish gray. Yes.
Yeah.
So he was covered in paint, and my first thought was, I gotta call Deb. So I called Deb. I said, Deb, this dog literally just come up into my yard, friendly as can be. I mean, just he's beautiful. Sent her the pictures, everything like that. And she's like, well, can you foster it? And I'm like, well, yes, I can foster it. I was like, can you help me with it? And of course, she said yes. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the
help.
magic
The help
words.
is there, and I take care of him, and that's all I have to do.
Yeah.
So.
And he has, it makes you wonder how they get in the shape they're in and how they were out on their own.
Yeah.
Because dogs are posted and reported to the local shelter as found.
Yeah.
But it's honestly, it's very rare that someone steps up and says, that's my dog these days. We'll get dogs that we just assume, oh, it's got to belong to somebody. This dog has to belong to somebody, and
He come up to me, I think it was like a Saturday or a Sunday. I did call Animal Control that Monday, and I personally have a chip scanner, so I scanned him, and there was no microchip found.
Yeah.
So he's been, been with me. He is great with other dogs. We use him, to test with other dogs sometimes, and he's not too fond of the cats, but he's good with them. But he's just a little too intense for them.
Too intense for the cats. And he walks
good
well on the leash.
Yes, good with kids. He loves my little girl.
Yeah.
She's 3, so he's he's a little rowdy, but he's good with her.
And he has one of the prettiest coats I think I have ever seen.
Yes.
And he's like you said, he's almost 2 now.
Yes.
So he's a good age. He's a good size. What are you, 45, 50?
He's probably closer to 60.
Whoa, he don't look that big.
He's stocky.
Yeah, he's a little stocky. He's not that tall, but he's stocky. He's getting excited now because
he wants to play. He loves to play.
Yeah.
Sit.
Does he have favorite toys?
Or
does he like to retrieve?
He likes water, and he likes to play, likes to chew on his nylabones, and he likes to tug rope. He'll take the tug rope and he'll get it in his mouth and he'll just fling it up in the air and he'll play with himself. Yeah. But he'll also play with other dogs. He's him and Tito. I don't remember if Tito's been on here or not. I don't remember who I brought last time, but him and Tito are really good friends. Him and Luna are really good friends. So he has. They have.
He has play dates. In other words,
he does.
where he can play, which is also part of socialization. And we. Well, I won't say this weekend because this show won't be on there, but when we do hikes, we have people volunteer to go to different places to hike, and what they volunteer is to hike with the care dog.
Yeah.
And he goes a lot, and he will be going to the next one we have.
Yeah, him
so-
and Luna usually walk together.
Yeah.
We usually try to pair them too. That's his girlfriend, I think.
Yeah.
Just don't tell her. She
Yeah.
don't.
But it's great for them, being more social,
Yeah.
getting out and about. So, and I mean, he would make somebody a great dog.
Great.
And even with kids, like you
Yes.
said, they could go out and play with
he
him.
loves to ride in the car. For instance, whenever I was getting ready to come here, he just literally, because I do whenever I bring dogs, I do make them ride in crates just for safety reasons. He immediately jumped up in the car and got right in his crate and sat down and waited on me. He knew we were leaving.
He knew he was getting to go
Yep,
somewhere.
he knew he was getting to go. He loves to ride.
So you have somebody that would like to be your partner and go with you
Yes.
places. And,
Yes, very.
And at more and more places, you are able to take your dogs these days.
Yeah.
In the past,
Right.
there's more places that have patios where you can take them and hang out and,
He,
and do different things.
I've taken him to Tractor Supply a few times. He, loves to socialize there with everybody, and so he's just an all around pretty good boy. I mean, I don't have any complaints other than he's young and
Yeah.
he's hyper. That's it.
But an active family.
An active family, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
He would stay tired.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Little active family,
So-
getting him out and about.
Yeah.
Again, he's another one of those that we've had for just a little while, and we don't understand why
I have
there's
no idea.
interest because he's such a great dog.
He's one of, yeah. I mean, that's just all there is to it.
And a lot of people would say right now, well, you're fostering this dog and you've had him for a little while. How would you let him go, or why don't you keep him?
Because I know with me owning a business, with me, having a little girl, and of course I call him mine, while
Yeah.
he's at my house, stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I mean, I do have my 2 dogs.
Yes.
One of which has bone cancer, and one of which is a bit of a senior. So he doesn't get to play with my dogs.
Yeah.
So he definitely needs somewhere where he can play. So I do. That's whenever I do play dates,
Yeah.
at the kennel. He goes with me.
Yeah. And that's the point. You do have dogs that you have committed to.
Yes.
And they do have issues, not personality,
No,
but like the
yes.
cancer and all. And again, here's the other thing. If you already have a couple and you're fostering Bear, and for those that don't know, you're fostering Tito too.
Yes.
So that gets you at 4.
Yes. And a cat.
And a cat. So if you
That's-
if you
Yes.
kept Tito and Bear,
No, I can't.
then you're done from
Yeah.
ever fostering for us again.
Yeah.
And we really need, hey Betsy, we need fosters, and so a lot of people, I guess there's different types of fostering with
Yeah.
different different things. Different people do it different ways. But we're not saying you cannot foster fail. I don't mean that.
Right.
But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people that want to foster and then let them go to a home
Yes.
and then take another dog so
Yeah.
that we can continue to help more and more.
And like I said, and that is easy with him just because he is very active. That is easy because I am so busy. And I mean, while yes, I am young, I know, but I'm not the one, because usually whenever I'm done working,
Yeah.
I'm usually either playing with Brindley, playing
Well,
with
you
them,
yeah.
Stuff like that, but it's not what he needs.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
And that's the point too, that it's temporary and,
Yeah.
and they're well taken care of.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I know I had a foster for a very long while, and when finally he got an application, and people went, "Oh my gosh, how can you let him go?" And I'm like, I cannot donate the time he needs.
Yes.
And he went to a home. The woman had lost her dog, and so she didn't have another dog, but she had a couple friends, and they always had play dates and went to
Yeah.
different people. Oh, and so anyway, I'm getting my nudge from Tammy, so we'll finish this story in a minute, but we need to take a short break. Thank you.
The only prediction I'd make is I'd be pretty willing to bet I won't be doing it in 20 more years.
My question is, where's our residual checks?
144 have taken Republican ballots, and Wes and 2 others have taken Libertarian ballots.
Pravda, however, TBS, however.
Wes.
Well, what-
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Here in Cleveland County, many children struggle to develop due to the lack of guidance and shortage of positive role models. At the Boys and Girls Club, we make it our team's mission to aid your child in becoming a better student and, more importantly, a better person with a brighter future.
When your child comes to the club, you can be assured they are being guided in a manner that is beneficial to the growth as an adult that is visible in their lives. Please consider giving your child the opportunity to be the absolute best they can possibly be.
Please support your local Boys and Girls Club today.
Okay, we're back for the second half of For Your Information, and I'll finish our story up really quick. But the lady that adopted the dog I had fostered for so long had lost her dog, and so he got to be her world,
Right.
you know, and went everywhere with her and all, and he did not have that at my house. He was taken
Right.
care of and
Abso-
loved,
yes,
but
absolutely.
he didn't. Plus,
Yep.
again, if I don't let one go, I can't help
You
another
can't help
one.
another one,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's how, you know, that's how it is with him. Listen, I love him to death. He is, like I said, he's a really good boy, but I just know that my household is not what he needs on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
And I know that there could be somebody, you know, better than me that can give him whatever he wants and whatever he needs.
Yep. And so now we're going to switch gears and go over here to our little white fluff ball here, which is Bitsy. And while, you know, different ways that dogs come to us, Bear was a stray that
Yes.
showed up. Bitsy was actually owner surrendered to us with her sister and her brother. So we have Bitsy, we have Rascal, who's another female, and we have Duke, who's a boy. They're Pyrenees mixes, and Bitsy is about 70 pounds, 65, 70 pounds when she went to the vet, I think. So she's not as big as some.
Right.
She's not quite a year old yet, so she could grow just a little more. But she's a great dog, very calm.
Yes, she's very
calm.
very calm.
And still working on some of her commands, but she's getting better. Did you get a treat there? So what would you tell us about her since she's actually at Puppy Love
Yes.
right now?
She has a really great disposition. Like you said, she's very calm. She has been so far good with the cats, good with the dogs. I think I have had her around Brindley. So I think she has been around her, and I would have remembered it if she was bad.
Yeah.
So I think she has been around her. She's great with even, you know, anybody new that she meets. She has, you know, no issues there. So she's just, but she's opposite him. She's very chill and could care less, you know, what's going on. She does like to play.
Yeah.
We'll get her in the yard playing with the tug rope. The same thing. She'll toss it, you know, and kind of play with herself, and then she's done.
And
So she does not go as near as long as he does.
And she, of the three, she was the most outgoing.
Yeah.
And I think you've met Rascal too, haven't we?
I haven't met
I didn't know.
Rascal.
And Rascal's with a different foster.
Yeah,
in a
yes.
foster home.
Rascal's in a foster home with another foster, and Rascal is a little shyer than Bitsy. I think Bitsy was the most outgoing when I met all three. Then Duke, then Rascal.
Duke has really come out of his shell.
Yeah.
Duke, he's very playful.
He has shorter hair.
Yes,
He is short-haired. Yes.
Yeah, he looks to me, and I mean I have no idea because I don't know the parents or anything of the dogs.
Right.
But he looks to me like almost a golden peer or something on that.
He definitely has the shorter
Short
hair
hair.
than versus her and Rascal.
And Rascal and her are about the same size. Duke's bigger.
Duke,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Duke's,
he's
yes.
a bigger boy.
I don't know if people remember Lobo or not, but he reminds me so much
much
of
of
Lobo.
Lobo. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So this is just another place you get them. So when people call wanting to own or surrender, and the same thing kind of goes with the shelter from a rescue standpoint, you don't leave family behind. If
No.
they say we've got 3, or if you go to the shelter and there's a mom and pups, you don't. If the pups are old enough, you don't just take the puppies. You got to take
Mama.
mom too. And we have took mom, dad, brother, sister. I mean, you know, I mean, you just never know. But you don't leave anybody behind.
Right.
So we had to find a place for 3 when this come up, and you luckily had a space for Duke and for Bitsy when
Yes.
it came up. So we were fortunate to find that so we could get them in here. Now, like I said, Bitsy and Bear too, any of our dogs, once they're ready for adoption, they've had all their vaccines.
Yes.
They've been heartworm tested. They're on heartworm preventive. If by chance they were heartworm positive,
Yes,
they've had their
the
treatment. They're microchipped. Am I leaving anything out?
Spay or neutered,
neutered,
yeah.
whichever one there. So everything's been done, at least for the first year. That's something else, everybody, you know, when you say you're getting a completely vetted dog, and not just like with rescue, but shelters or anywhere else, people think, well, they're vetted, so we're good.
Right.
Well, vaccines expire in a year.
Yes.
Now, once you have your second rabies, you have 3 years, but
Right.
but the rest of them, you know, it's a year thing. Plus, we see so much heartworms around here.
Yes.
And you need to have the dog tested every year to make sure. If you've got them on preventive, there's, I don't know what the actual percentage is, but it's really high that it's going to be negative, but
Right.
there's always that chance. So
And also, and I know people may not know this, but if you know your dog is consecutively on the heartworm prevention, like for the 12 months, you know that every month, you know, on the same time and stuff like that, and they do show up positive, most of the time that the heartworm prevention company will cover it.
yeah, because
Cover the
their
treatment
their
because
product didn't
their
work.
product
yeah.
didn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a good thing.
it's very
and-
important to keep them on there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we see it so often, and it's not the most cheap thing to have treated.
No.
It's very expensive, and the thing that I don't get, I get sometimes that the products and all are expensive, but the beauty of heartworm treatment is it may cost you more in the long run, but if you can't buy a 6 month pack, you can go get 1 month at a time.
Yes, you can.
And make it very affordable to give the dog.
Yeah, and I think just for an example, HeartGuard. HeartGuard I know is pretty common around here. It's I believe anywhere from only like $12 or $14 a month.
Yeah.
It's that one's I do believe is the cheapest.
Yeah.
And it also treats intestinal worms,
Yes.
such
Yeah.
as hookworms and
Yeah.
roundworms
And-
and all that. So
Yeah.
it's doing intestinal worms as well as heartworms. Preventive.
And you do need to be careful though, because some of the heartworm products, you know, there's different ones, but some do not treat all the intestinal
Correct.
worms. So
Correct.
I had a friend that had I don't even remember which one she had them on, but her dog got whipworms.
Right.
And she didn't think, she wasn't even looking for that because she had been putting it on a monthly heartworm
Yep.
preventive. But the particular
yep,
one she had
sometimes
didn't
that's right.
treat that. And same way with, now you can get a 6 month or a year shot for heartworms.
Yes. Yeah, that's ProHeart.
Yeah, ProHeart. But it doesn't treat the intestinal, so you still need to at least take a fecal by the
Right.
vets and make sure if your dog's out playing a lot and getting
Yeah.
around everything that they're not getting any other type of parasites that could go along.
And especially, you know, with dogs, playing with dogs, they're gonna step in
Yeah,
feces. I
exactly.
mean, it's just that's all there is
There's
to it.
yeah. And you know, if you're taking them out and playing with them and all too, they're going to get in what they can get in.
They are.
Yeah.
They
And
are.
that's just what we do. But like, she's another one. This, to me, of course, I'm partial to this breed,
know.
as everybody knows.
We know.
But mine are a little bit larger than her. But to me, this is a perfect size.
Yes.
You do have to brush, you know.
Yes.
You do, you know, there is some upkeep to me. But they have such great personalities, and they're just, and she's young. She would be good to grow up with some kids.
Yes.
And she would go walking all with you too,
Oh,
but
yes.
she's
Oh,
going
she
to
will.
chill out. She'd chill
Yes,
out at your house
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
She's definitely she could go either way.
too. Yeah.
I definitely think she would love to go for a walk, and then she would love to come back home and to cuddle up with you and
And
go to
give
sleep.
kisses. And I like to give kisses.
Yes. Yes, she does.
So,
she's very good. She rides very well in the car as well.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and I met you out there, and she come right out.
Oh,
so
yeah, right
you
out.
know, so no freaking out on that, because sometimes when they haven't been riding a whole lot.
I mean, she was a little nervous. I mean, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but other than just the minor like, oh, what's going on,
Yeah.
and then she braves and goes. So
Yeah.
she's fine.
Yeah. And
Just a
so
little bit more exposure is all she needs.
And again, she will start. We haven't had
No,
these
she
three
hasn't.
that
Yeah,
long,
yeah.
so they're starting to go to events and they're
Yes.
starting to go on hikes, and that will help them get even more and more social. Because the other thing is, when you foster a dog, if you don't ever take it anywhere, we don't get them out to
Right.
events.
Right.
They bond with you, but they may, if they haven't had a lot of socialization before,
Yeah.
they're not going to do well when they get around other people.
Yep, that's
so
right.
that's another thing we try to do is make sure we get them out to different things where they meet several people in different,
It's always easy for them to bond, with the people who are taking care of them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just all there is.
But as you can tell, like with her, she will bond with anybody because she's that puppy love, and
Yes.
she hasn't seen me that much, and I get all kinds of sugar, and Tammy's getting sugars and Paul's. So she's come a long way in a short period of time.
She very has. She was a little nervous whenever I got her in.
Yeah.
Even more so, like I said, than just the car ride being here. She was, oh, what's that sound? And it was taking her a lot longer to, try to come around to me. But, you see her now. She she has come a long way. Her and Duke both have.
Yeah.
So.
And so, she's available for adoption. She's ready to find her home. Duke, who you haven't seen, is probably about 90 pounds, and he's shorter haired.
Yeah,
and
he's got the shorter hair.
And
yes.
he's just a gorgeous dog, too. Bear's ready. We have tons of dogs ready for
Yeah.
adoption. And if you're not ready to have a permanent dog here, we could foster. You can
just
foster
try.
dogs.
Yep.
Yeah. Foster a dog. And the beauty of fostering is, too, you get to have different dogs. As soon as
Yep.
they get adopted, you can have a different dog. You can have a small dog. You can have a large dog.
Yeah. Oh, and most of the time, and correct me if I'm wrong, people can tell you, well, I really don't need an active dog. If you had somebody
Oh, yeah.
who's laid back, then maybe pair them with that
That's
foster.
the same way we do even on the hikes. We ask
Right.
them what energy level, but fosters in
baby girl.
particular, yes, if they want a senior dog, if they want a
Right.
small dog, if they want, less maintenance as far as brushing
Hair
and
and-
hair
yep.
and stuff like that, we do whatever they ask and need, So if you'd like to foster for us, or if you would like to adopt, you can go to our website, which is CliffordsArmyRescue.com. There is a foster tab where you can fill out an online app and just hit submit. You can go to the adoption tab and go to Adopt Me, and you'll see where to fill out an adoption application.
All of the dogs are on there as well.
The majority. Let's not get
Yeah.
carried away. We are volunteers. There may be a few that's not made it yet, but we try. But you can fill those out. If you're not sure what kind of dog you want, just leave that part. Just put uncertain on where it says the dog's name, and we'll still contact you and get you set up, and you can come and meet whoever you want to. And I want to thank you, Carmen, for
welcome.
coming and bringing Bitsy and Bear with you.
Absolutely.
And we're going to close this edition, and we'll see you next time on For Your Information.